Okay, next we have Fahad Sultan and his presentation, A Doubtful Human Resources Worth and a Competitor, a case, oh, it's gone. There we go. A case for Pakistani small enterprise training market. Thank you.
Hello everyone. After the interesting presentation of callers about the jazz music, and I'm not sure this small business enterprise training gonna entertain you or not, but it's my part of PhD, and I'm second year PhD students in Birmingham City Business School. The co-author of this research work are the Professor Dr. Javed Hussain and Dr. Harry Martley. What it's all about, I'm trying to find out what's the relationship between training practices in small business industry and the business performance in terms of employees' turnover. This case is totally based on the Pakistani small business sector, and I picked up the manufacturing industry, and especially the furniture manufacturing industry in Pakistani small business market. I'll give you a quick overview of the agenda today. Is a starting point about, I'll tell you about something about training and small business research. Made in Pakistan means was the training practices, current training practices, formal, informal, on the job, off the job training practices. What are the aims of this research? The big questions means what are the current relationship between different training practices and the small business performance in the current training labor market. Methodology of this research, results and findings, conclusion, and some recommendations in the end. So, starting point, why small businesses are important in the developed economies and the developing economies. If you see in the UK, unemployment rate in this September 2013 was 7.6%, while in the USA in October in October it was like a 7.3, while in the UK it was 7.6. Same in Pakistan, the current employment rate is 7.9%, which is close to the UK and the US. What's the SME's role in the current training practices and the small business training practices and economic growth? At the microeconomic level, you can see the human capital of employees enhanced with the training, while at the macroeconomic level, your economic production and your economic market enhanced with the employees' human capital and the different intellectual capacities. This is the proper training practices creates a proper bridge between the demand and supply in the intellectual market, which is what we need for the now and what we need for the future. So, what training says? Training has been advocated a basic and significant practice for every job, and SMEs place emphasis upon intellectual capital and develop training practices and competitive weapon. There's an increasing concern that SMEs in any economy should emphasize intellectual and human capital in the form of enterprise education and training. There's a difference between employees training and education. Education is the basic concept in any training chapter, while training is a more broader view, which comes later on. Made in Pakistan. And what are the problems we are having at a minute? Like inflation, economy, you can see that economy is just like hanging, and the inflation rate, the major power crisis in the economy is like a big disaster for the small and medium enterprise sector at the minute. Government is currently unable to cope with these crises because from last 1 decade, we lost like a war on terror. Because of the Afghanistan war, there's another issue was the economy. Because of this war, we are spending a lot of money. The third problem was the major power crisis. So aim of this research is provide a deep understanding of small business enterprise training market and discuss the way in which small business provide and participates in the training market in the context of Pakistan. Furthermore, what are the current training practices in the Pakistani manufacturing industry, especially in the so this one is a previous study from developed countries, and I picked up the 6 studies which shows the different relationship between training and small business performance in terms of employee turnover. The first one, which is the totally like is a recent study which was conducted in Greece. Its sample size was 43 semi-structured interviews, and which shows the employability and errors that informal training reduce error and enhance work's employability. The second one is Ahmed and Scottler, is 2003, which shows that commitment and employee turnover impact on commitment and employee turnover was positive. Like a training has a positive impact on the employee turnover. Furthermore studies, which one, the top one is the latest one again, which is in Vietnam, which have the massive, you can say the massive small and medium industry sector, and it says the overall performance, formal training and informal training has a positive impact on performance on the small businesses performance. In terms of, you can see here, the turnover as well. While in the previous study, I show you one more, which is totally relevant with that. Acton and Golden, 200 employee sample, like this was a semi-structured, like not a semi, this was a questionnaire, and it says provision of training does not have any impact on staff retention rate. The Kosh et al. 1998, it provides us positive but not a significant impact. Means the previous literature provides us different pictures about the training and the staff turnover. But most of the cases we see is the informal training, especially the small businesses sector, they don't have so much resources. So mostly what they do, they pick up the informal training practices, and which have a positive impact, but still this is not significant. For this research, I conducted like 25 interviews based on employers, managers, and a different kind of employees in the small business sector. I give you one a quotation of one employer who said, beside information of importance of small training market, it would be best if the government work on a war on footing to sort out the energy crisis first. Energy crisis are bridging at the gap between demand and supply of their economic activities had decreased significantly over the past few years. There is no point to employee training when we don't have enough resources. I give you some results of this research. First of all, that the time most of the employer and the managers, they think that the management small business training is a totally waste of time. They don't have enough time to train the small business employees. Even they also consider it's a waste of money, because small businesses, financial resources and the budgets are so limited, and they don't have enough resources to cope with the demand and supply of the training. Energy crisis, again, big losers. Who is suffering? Small business sectors. Small and medium enterprise in Pakistan, because of this energy crisis, they're suffering a lot. The most interesting thing, what employer thinks when they train somebody in a small business sector, they will think that they will quit the job straight away, or somebody hired them. So poaching of employees is really important. Negative behavior of management and the employees as well is the main cause of the lower participation. Small business loans means they don't have enough loans from a government and a private sectors. That's the picture which shows all the employee perception about the training. What if I fail? What if it's a crazy idea? What if I'm not ready? What if I should test it again? And even when in the last, what if here, where did the runway go? Even when they are training, they are not sure about the training practices. Even they are not sure about the objectives of the training. Conclusion of this research, that's in Pakistan, mostly employers, they are adopting the informal training practices, but there is a scant relationship between the informal training practices and the employees' turnover rate. Some recommendations. First one, energy subsidiaries, training vouchers, contract between small and medium enterprises, and contract between public and private sectors training provision, collaboration between large and small and medium enterprises for the training practices, apprenticeship, which is a really cheap and effective idea in countries like Pakistan, formal and informal training practices through the proper university and VET institutes, and the tax incentives for the small business sectors. Thank you.